instead of making a GIF your brand, what about making you your brand, or at least your personality?
Yeah, I love that. I always recommend you should be involved in your brand. You should be related to it. Your company name, your photos of you, your team, your comments, your personality is a big asset. And people want to connect with other people more than they want to connect with brands, right? And,
dude, we learned this lesson the hard way at the Mac Observer when we started that business.
Right.
We were like, nope, we don't want to have our personalities involved. We want to be like the New York Times, right? We want to be just a faceless entity that is one voice.
That's a small company. That often comes.
Yeah, because we wanted to seem bigger than we were.
I've been there.
And it made we made a logical argument for it, even though we were wrong. And it took us a few years to realize, as personalities would seep through anyway, it was like, wait a minute. That more of that. Well, that's going to break our, one of our core values. Well, let's break that core value. And we did.
Yeah.
And of course, now every news organization, New York Times could be one of them, but same with the Wall Street Journal, every one of them has personalities that are part and parcel of who they are. Yes.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be you. If you're the owner,
no.
maybe you're an introvert, but it could be your general manager. It could be your supervisors. It could be
you could make it up too.
It could be anything, and you could make it up. And you can play a character. And I suggest you read the book called The Alter Ego Effect. And I forget the author's name, but you can just look it up and learn about creating.
I'll put a link in the
ego.
show notes. It's right there. Yeah. It's good to go.
That's awesome. And I'll give you an example with Tech Restore. I wanted to quote answer every phone call. That was my whole thing. But of course that's impossible.
Yeah.
But I could be the auto attendant that answered every phone call.
Sure.
And and at the same time, I hate auto attendants. Who doesn't, right? So I answered the phone and said, "Hey, this is Shannon Jean. I'm going to be your auto attendant, and I know that's not what you want." So
right, yeah,
I
embrace
just played it up. I played it up the whole way. I'm like, I hate these things too, but we got to be super efficient. This, that, and the other thing. And then when they hit press 1 for service, it's still me. And I'm just like, hang on, hold on. I made some noise,
yep.
crack, crack, crash, doing it like I'm chasing a technician down. And so
I like that.
Ask, introducing your personality to these things, and maybe even a little humor would be amazing. People love that. And I can't tell you how many people, once they got to an actual human, were just like, dude, that was amazing. I love that. And
it entertains them.
And they're not mad because they had to go through 4 levels of auto attendance to get to your customer service department or whatever.